test and Strand test, right? So it's going to be a chemical service, right? So when you think chemical service, what do you think you have to, what do you think about?
Gloves.
Right, so you're going to put some gloves on. So before I grab my gloves, I'm going to grab my hand sanitizer. I'm going to sanitize my hands. Grab my gloves out of my clean source. Okay. Zip these back up, otherwise they're no longer clean. Got my gloves on. I'm gonna need some, I have my cotton here and my,
Doorbell?
yeah, I have my cotton and then I have my Q-tips for my PD test. Also, I'm gonna need some maybe I might use some TPT just in case. So I'm gonna take a couple of these out. And then I know I'm gonna need a paper towel just in case. Oh, I got some in here already.
Maybe just repeat it.
Mama knows. She talked to him on the phone.
I think that's what she said.
Miss Knowles, should you disinfect, sanitize hand before TTP source?
My gloves are clean and I haven't touched my doll. Good question though. I thought about it, but my hands weren't soiled. I just put my clean gloves on.
Okay.
Until I touch my doll or myself, my hands are still clean. That makes sense?
Yes, thank you.
Good question though. Because here's the deal. Yes, we want you to sanitize your hands all the time. But if you go crazy sanitizing your hands, do you know what that means to the examiner?
What?
No?
No,
That means you're stalling for time, you don't know what to do. Because we tell students sometimes, and it's still true, but if you do it too much, you're gonna get caught. If you don't know what to do next, if you are confused on how to move forward, take a second and stop. Take a deep breath, sanitize your hands as if you need to sanitize your hands. Give you a second to think about, focus on what's next so you can move forward. Okay? But if you spend your whole test sanitizing, they know, oh, she don't know what to do next. Okay?
Okay.
So you don't want to over sanitize, but you want to make sure you sanitize the right amount. Okay? So until your hands are soiled, you still don't touch my face. I'm not touching my hair. I'm not touching my body in any way. I'm not putting my hands in my pockets. Those are all the things that are going to require you to go back and sanitize. Okay? Until I do any of those things, I'm good to go and touch my client. Okay? As long as I don't touch her, because she's already draped and ready to go from the past perm. After the perm, you guys have to section into the 5, right? So during the break, I sectioned her into the 5 and got her ready for this. Okay.
Okay.
Good questions. Any other questions before I start?
I do.
Yes.
So you just grabbed a couple of torn paper towels and then you grabbed a regular piece of paper towel?
Yeah, just in case. I only grabbed 1 or 2 because I'll probably throw these away, as I go. But those paper towels will be good laid out until I get done with this client. So I can keep those out, and if I need them, I can use them during this client. Okay.
Are they gonna have us section into 5 before we start, or
Miss Alita went over that yesterday. She showed you right after the perm. It's a part of the perm. You section into the 5.
Okay.
Okay. Nobody remembers that?
Yeah, isn't it the 5-minute section?
There you go. There
Yeah,
you
she said if you don't have enough time, don't worry about it. You can section in the next portion.
go. Usually people, by the time you practice enough, everybody can get the sectioning down.
Okay.
You'll get the sections down, and then you'll be like I am right now, ready to go when it comes to the PD test. But it's true. If you're not finished, which you should be, you have, because usually this PD test and strand test doesn't take very long. So you can go ahead and finish up sectioning before you start your PD test. Okay. Any other questions before I start? Good questions today. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do our PD test. So PD test, we all know predisposition test is a test to make sure that your client isn't allergic to the aniline derivative 10, right? That's important to be able to know that. Okay, why you're doing a PD test and why you're doing it right before your color services. Make sense? Okay, so what you're going to do is you have to clean the area off. So you'll clean the area off. With some cotton spray bottle. So you'll clean it off. Make sure you clean it off. Wipe it good. Make sure they see you wiping it, wiping it pretty good. And then you're going to dry it off. Okay. So you dry it off. So take a separate piece of cotton. Oh, where's the end of it? Take a separate piece of cotton. Dry it off. Okay. So then I have to throw this away. Okay, so since my lid is not off, I have to touch my trash. So what do I have to do now?
Sanitize.
Sanitize. Okay, my lid was off. I didn't touch anything. I'd be okay. So sanitize. Okay, so now I'm just going to tilt her a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to take my hair color. Okay, so grab your hair color. I try to have them in order as best I can. I was in a rush today trying to get my setup ready for you all. But have your product, your simulated product in order. So this is going to be your hair color. If you use any other product besides this, you lose points pretty much on everything for this portion, okay? So remove the top, put the top someplace safe. You're going to get one of your cotton swabs. You're going to get a little bit on your cotton swab. You're going to apply it, and then you're going to leave it. So what I'm looking for is a dime size. So in your notes, write, I want a dime size amount of product, okay? That's gonna make sure that anybody evaluating you is going to be able to see it, okay? So put it there right behind the ear, good dime size amount, and you wanna be able to see it, okay? Well, hopefully you all can see that, a little bit of shadow. There you go, okay? Dime size, okay? And then where's this go? In the trash, okay? Any questions about that first portion? Okay, so now,
Do we have to worry about closing the jar right away or not?
well, what comes next? I'm still working with this service. So this service is PD test and strand test. So my strand test, we told you it was going to be with permanent hair color. If I close it, I won't have it available for my permanent hair, for my strand test. Okay. So now I'm going to go in, grab my brush.
Miss Nose? Miss Nose?
Question.
Yeah, so when you cleaned behind the ear, you just use the cotton and water?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
As far as we know, that's what they're looking for. Okay. So now I'm going to do my strand test. So a strand test is to test for color development. Okay. So what that means is you're going to take a little test. You're going to take a small portion of hair and you're going to apply whatever product that you want to use on you or you think you want to use, and you're going to test to see the way that the color develops, okay? So that you don't like ruin the whole head. You just, if it didn't go right, you just ruined one small section of the hair. You can cover that up easier versus putting on something on the whole head and then wondering and hoping and praying with your fingers crossed that it's going to work, okay? So what we're going to do is on the right-hand side in the front, because that's a smaller section, you don't need that much hair. We're going to do about 1/4 of an inch subsection of hair, okay? Makes sense? So make sure my clip is free of hair. So I'm going to section off 1/4 of an inch. Okay. You don't want too much hair. The reason why you don't want too much hair is because you're going to have to remove all the product from the hair. Okay. So if you have too much, let me straighten her out a little bit. Come on.
Can you close that door? I'm recording.
Okay. So not too thick, not too thin. Okay. 1/4 of an inch. Okay. So then you're going to grab your product. Okay. I'm all twisted around because of my new setup, but that's okay. We're going to figure it out. So the important part of this is to make sure that you fully saturate your subsection of hair. Okay. Fully saturate so that you can get a good test. If you don't completely saturate, you won't be able to evaluate whether or not you got, good results. Okay. So you're going to go close to the scalp because you have to be in the heat zone because you need to know how that color is going to react in the heat zone. Okay. Okay, do your best not to get product on any other areas of the head. I got a little bit right here in the top, so I'm going to take my TPT and I'm going to remove that once I finish applying this. So I'm going to lay this down gently so I can pick it up again when I get ready to clean it. I'm going to hold on to my brush for a second, get some TPT. Okay, and then throw that away. And then what you want to do is you just want to, for a second or two, because remember this is all like you're on stage, you're going to make sure that you got full saturation, and then you're going to look at your product and okay, make sure you got it on there good. Now you're going to remove, okay, so you need to remove the product because otherwise you won't be able to see the results. So I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to put it, hopefully you have enough brushes. If you don't have enough brushes, you'll have to wipe this off really, really clean and put it on your setup. But I have enough brushes and hopefully you have enough brushes. I want to put this brush in my items to be disinfected so I don't have to worry about it dirtying up my setup. Okay, because once that dirties up my setup, each service I do after that, you'll get dinged for. Okay, so I'm going to go in. And now I'm not gonna use this one. I'm not gonna use hair color again until not this next service, but the next service. Okay, so I'm gonna put this away, put in my items to be disinfected. And it's important to know where things go. So the paper towel that I wiped my hands off with is gonna go in my trash. Okay, so then I'm gonna take some more paper towels. And I'm going to remove my product. I like to fold it in half to get it nicely concentrated. You're gonna put your strand test right on top of the paper. Okay. And then you're gonna spray off. You have to use water to spray off. Get it on there nice and tight. Okay. You can help it trying to drip all over the place and start to wipe off. Okay. Put this back underneath here. Spray it one more time because you got to get it. You got to get all the product removed.
So we repeat this step 2 times?
You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it as many times as you need to. There's no hard and fast rule as to how many times you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it until all the product is removed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If I tell you do it 2 times, but you do it 2 times and you don't have all the product removed, then you can say, well, you told me do it 2 times. No, I'm telling you do it thoroughly. And whatever thoroughly means for you, it's going to be different for every student. Okay. So when your examiner comes by, you want to make sure when she looks that there's no discoloration from product. You want to make sure that everything is nice and removed. I'm going to put my lid on, my hair color, put it back where it was before, and then wait for her to come by. So you want to make sure that you remove all the product, okay? It's going to look wet, but it can't look like the color from the hair color or from the cholesterol, the assimilated product. Make sense? So once you're done, then you'll step back and you wait for your examiner to come around and check, okay? She may touch it. If it looks sticky, she might touch it. She might just walk by and look like, because she saw you really thoroughly remove it, okay? We don't really know each way. Each examiner's a tiny bit different, so you just have to roll with whatever they do, okay? Any questions about that one?
Do they use the same colors for the cholesterol out there at the
Those
state
different
board?
colors. Just like you also have different colors. Ms. Alito probably talked about the different colors, but because you all are at home, and usually we do that in the department, we give everybody a squirt of each color in the department. Like some of you all have product from other students who passed it down to you all, and yours are colored. If you got it brand new, there is no color. So we could talk about how to color those with food coloring, after I meet with Miss Alito, see how she wants to do that.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, like the rental kits we get, is it also colored the same? Okay.
Yes.
I have 2 questions. So the first one is when I saw you with that strand, you kind of twist it around before you lay it down. Is that like a required step?
I twisted it around for control. If you don't twist it around, sometimes the other hairs from the bottom get all caught up.
Okay, so we should do that, right? That's
If you want to.
okay. And also, when you put the tint brush into the items to be disinfected box, after that, do we need to sanitize or we can move on?
Oh, I didn't sanitize. I should have sanitized after I went into the box.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that needs to be in there, right? That's step. Okay, got it.
I
Thank
did
you.
sanitize? Yes, you want to sanitize after that, for
Okay.
sure. Just like if I actually touch the trash box, I'd be disinfected. You want to sanitize your hands. Good question. Good question.
With the gloves on, it's okay too, right? Yeah. Okay.
I'm not going to take my gloves off. I'm still in the middle of chemical services, client protection.
Okay, got it. Thank
Mhm.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I didn't catch. Do you after you're done wiping I'm sorry, the hair off?
Mhm.
Yeah, you throw that away, and then the brush you put it in. Do you wipe? Sorry, after you wipe your brush off, you put in the items to be disinfected, or you still keep it somewhere?
So I put mine the items to be disinfected because I have other brushes.
Yeah.
But you have to make sure that you have enough brushes for all of your services that need brushes.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is that you're going to use your hair color again. So if you didn't have another brush, then you can leave it on your setup, but you need to wipe it off really, really well and make sure that it doesn't leave any residue on your setup. Because if it does, every service that you do after that, you're going to get dinged for. Make sense?
If we lay it on the table, do we need to put a paper towel underneath it, or just it gotta be like wiped clean and just lay it on just like that?
It really should be wiped clean because you don't want to have any trash on your setup.
Got it. Thank you.
So can we clean up brush if, for example, and I have not enough? So I take my towel, put my brush in that, spray with water to more clean with water. It's
You
work.
could, if you had time,
Yeah.
you could. And then you're saying then put it back on your setup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you had time, you could do that. Just so long as it doesn't drip, long as when you put it back on there, it's nice and clean and dry. I would recommend for everyone to have enough brushes. So you're gonna need 2 brushes for your hair color. You're gonna need 1 brush for your lightener. You're gonna need 1 brush for your relaxer. So that's 4 brushes.
Yeah, okay, I got it. I just asking in case of on skateboard if they not put 4 brushes there.
They do. They
Okay.
do. You gotta have enough brushes. So if you drop some, you gotta make, you know what I mean? Things happen. So they make sure that you have enough.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Any other questions
Miss
before we
Knowles?
move on? Uh-huh.
Sorry, I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
When for the PD test, when you wiped it, it was just with water and cotton, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then my second question is, so if for the Strand test, if you grab the product, put on the hair, it's okay to go back into the tub with the same brush, right? Like if you
Yeah.
need more product. Thank you.
Not how we recommend it, but that's what state board, that's what the NIC is saying to do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions before I read the instructions on the highlight? Okay, let's stop recording and then I'll read the instructions for the highlight and then